Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV.
Two, we're going to be looking at, he sadly passed away on Saturday, and we're going to be looking at his life and times and who he was before his passing. And joining us via Zoom this morning from Birnin Kebbi is Garba Hamisu Zuru. He is the Dan Amanan Zuru. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, as someone who, worked closely with him, how would you describe the Emir of Zuru? Aside from his title, simply him as a person, how would you describe him?
Good morning. The late Emir of Zuru is an amiable person, a go-getter, who is always out to get the best for his people. He is somebody who was very passionate about development in Zulu.
Mr. Garba, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, please go on. We can hear you.
When he was made the Emir of Zulu in 1995, I was the first secretary to the Emirate Council. His orders were that we must make sure that we bring development to Zulu Emirate. One of the first things he did was to bring everybody together, both the retired military personnel, businessmen, the academia, traditional rulers, Muslims, Christians, and he formed a very big committee for an advisory committee for the Emirate. That was the kind of person that he was.
Hello, Mr. Garba.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Just ask.
I can hear you.
Okay. So, as a one-time military administrator of Bauchi State and also a traditional ruler of Zuru for 30 years, what would you say were the key initiatives and also legacy projects that the Major General were able to achieve when he was alive?
One of the first things that people of Zulu remember the late Emir for was the resuscitation of the Zulu Uhola Cultural Festival. Against all odds, he made sure that that festival was resuscitated and it was held every year. The one for this year was held in May, and the festival is normally used as a rallying point for the people of Zulu Emirate, because it is a period where everybody comes back home and attends the festival. Apart from that, he made sure that he taxed virtually every well-to-do person in Zulu Emirate to execute one project or the other, so that the Emirate will prosper. One of the areas of concern, or what I want to mention here as a very critical area, is the issue of industrialization. He made sure that he set up a committee, a very high-powered committee of eminent sons and daughters of Zulu Emirate to scout for investors. That has been ongoing for the past 5 years. So he laid a very solid foundation for the development of Zulu Emirate.
All right, now looking at his military career and service, I mean, he commanded the Brigade of Guards under General Murtala Mohammed, and also had this back to land agricultural program and, other health reforms. Now, how would you say that helped, shape him or prepare him for his role as an emir when he finally ascended the throne?
The Emir of Zuru joined the army very early in his life, precisely in 1962, after his secondary education. He had the ambition of becoming a medical doctor, but because of the drive for Northerners to join the army, he had to just turn that idea of becoming a medical doctor. Throughout his military career, he has been what I would call a troubleshooter. From the Civil War to those commands that he commanded, he was a commanding officer when the first incursion by the Chadians happened in Maiduguri, and he really worked very hard to end that incursion. He was also in Bakassi when the Cameroonians also crossed the Nigerian territory, and he successfully repelled that attack. He was also in Maiduguri, in Jos, during the riots when people were trying to raise alarm for probably a military takeover. He quelled that riot. So he was prepared to really work very hard. He fought the Civil War gallantly, and he has so many wounds on his body. So when he retired in 1990, he was already settling down as a farmer and a successful businessman in Kaduna when the Zulu Emirate Council decided to call him back, and he was appointed an emir in 1995. So he was well prepared to serve as an emir and a leader of people, which he has always been.
So Gaba, as the Dan Aman of Zuru, what is your connection to the late emir? How did you receive his death? What role did you play in his life?
Well, the title is Da Amana, which means the trustworthy son of Zulu Emirate. I have known the emir, although late in his life, towards his retirement from the military. When he was made the Emir of Zulu, he requested that I should come and help in his reform agenda as the secretary to the Emirate Council. I worked with him, although on temporary basis, because he requested for my services for an initial period of 1 year, after which I had to leave and come back to my duty. From that period, we have worked together on various projects, and I always make myself available to him for any assignment. I could remember the last 2 assignments he gave me was a committee assignment for the creation of additional districts in Zulu Emirate. He told me that his major ambition is for him to ensure that governance is expanded in Zulu Emirates so that people will have a chain of leadership that will assist in settling, in tackling issues such as insecurity, which we have in Zulu. I also did an assignment for him, which is he wanted to dislodge some bandits from a forest in Zulu Emirate. So he decided that we should go there and ensure that after the military exercise in the area, he requested that the state government should allow him to give plots of farmlands to people of Zulu Emirate to farm in that area so as to dislodge the bandits in the area. So I have worked very closely with him, and he's such a person that listens. He's such a person. One thing about the Emir, up to his death, he writes his letters. He also drafts and reads his speeches. He doesn't allow people to do it for him. He's so passionate about writing. He's a writer. He has so many books to his credit. Thank you.
All right. Now, earlier on, you spoke about the festival, the Uhola Festival, and we know that it grew in prominence, under his reign. So I'd like to know, what vision would you say that he had for it that made him, improve the festival, and what did it mean to him personally?
The Uhola Festival is a cultural festival for the people of Zulu Emirate. It is normally celebrated by the different clans at different times after harvest. What he did is not to discourage the clan Uhola, but he made sure that after each clan celebrates its Uhola, that there is a rallying point for the entire people of Zulu Emirate. Zulu Emirate consists of so many, although Dakarchi, which is the Lena language, is the majority, but there are other tribes in Zulu Emirate, including those who have come to settle in Zulu, like the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Thieves, and so on and so forth, the Fulanis, and so on and so forth. So the Uhola Festival is an all-common affair for people residing in Zulu Emirate. So it was a rallying point, and usually held between April, May, and every tribe is well represented in the 4-5 day affair. So that gives everybody in Zulu Emirate a sense of belonging, and people come to display their arts and culture. And what the late Emir did is to expand the festival from merely being a local affair to being a national affair. It is now recognized by the federal government, and every year, in the last 5 years, every year the federal government is heavily represented in all the Uhola festivals.
Mr. Gaba, we would like to know why he was in London, what happened, what led him there, what was the cause of his death, and I also want to know the state of the Nigerian, health sector, saying that every time a prominent person gets sick, the person gets flown to, international hospitals. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was not the intention of the late Emir to go to London. I spoke to him about 5 days before he went to Abuja for a routine medical checkup. And he was in Abuja. he met his doctors in Abuja, and he was advised to go for further checkup. I don't know what ailment, but I know that normally every year he goes to Abuja where he meets his doctors, and he runs a series of checks, and he comes back to Zulu. When he went this time, he was, I think, referred to a bigger hospital, and he went to the hospital, and as God will have it, like Muslims believe, we believe that it was destined that he would travel out, and it was destined that he would die in London. That's as far as we take the issue. But it was not a life-threatening sickness. It wasn't as if he was stretched out of Nigeria. He was on his feet. So it was just destined that he would travel out and die in London. Thank you.
Now, what would you say, is the greatest legacy that the Emir of Zuru, left? What would you say it is for the Zuru Emirates? What is that legacy?
He left a legacy of togetherness. He always preached togetherness. Zulu Emirate, I think, is one of the only environment in this country where Muslims and Christians live very peacefully together. He made sure that every Christian and every Muslim do not fight. And one of the things he also did was to strengthen the Zulu Emirate Development Society, which is a socio-cultural association where every Zulu son and daughter sit together to discuss common issues and provide solutions. So the late Emir was a rallying point for everybody in Zulu.
So still talking about the late Emir's legacy, who is going to continue his legacy? Who is going to continue his projects, all the reforms that he put in place? And what is the succession story like? The chieftaincy laws, what happens? Is it after a few months or a quarter that somebody else takes over? Tell us about the procedure of the succession and who takes over his legacies and projects.
We have ruling houses in Zulu Emirate. So the next emir will definitely come from one of the ruling houses. The succession law stipulates that after the death of an emir, there is a council. That council will sit and select from those interested in taking over as the next emir. After that selection process, the list of those, a voting process takes place, and the first, second, and third are recommended to the state government for appointment. That is the state government now will now go through the report of the selection process, approve the first choice, second choice, third choice, or even somebody from outside the choice. So it is a very delicate procedure, and it is normally done after the mourning period. The mourning period for Muslim community is 3 to 4 days, and after probably 7 days, that process should have been concluded. But we have a different scenario this time. the late Emir passed on outside the country. So he will be brought into the country and a simple burial ceremony will be held, after which the mourning period will now begin. And after the mourning period, a new Emir will be announced.
The burial preparations, what is being done, how is the palace and, all the people around him getting ready for, the final burial rites?
The final burial rites is just like any other Muslim burial rite. As soon as the body is flown back into the country, I think by Wednesday, by tomorrow Wednesday, as soon as the body arrives in Nigeria, the body will leave Abuja on Thursday for burial in Zuru, and which will be done immediately the body arrives in Zuru. It's just it's not going to be any different from any Muslim burial. It's going to be simple, and then as soon as practicable.
Okay, so thank you so much, Dan Emir Zuru. Thank you so much for joining us today and accept our condolence.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the program. Have a nice day.
So yes, we have come to the end of the
International communities observing why the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
We have taken the move by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.